Okay, for this video, I'm just gonna go over a feature called inbound NAT rules because I didn't do it when I originally made the Azure load balancer, the basic one. So anyway, you create the load balancer, and before this I create two virtual machines and put them in the same availability set. And it's basic, same region as virtual machines, public, because I wanted to be able to access port 80, and create a front end IP address, and I just created a public IP address before, and it has a load balancing rule. Then you create the backend pool, which is the two availability set VMs. Anyway, inbound rule, I create a load balancing rule. Port 80, create a health probe there. 80 TCP, and then I'm gonna create it, and then we'll go create a network address translation rule after it's ready. Alright, it's ready. Let's go to it. So let's add so here's our IP, our backend pool, our health probe, load balancing rule. So let's create an inbound NAT rule. Just call it NAT1, our front end IP. I'm going to leave it as a custom service protocol TCP, say 4000, and target virtual machine will be demo VM1, first one. Put in the IP config of it. Let's do port mapping to custom, and we'll do 3389, RDP. And so essentially, the way load balancer works is, has a public IP address, and you send requests to it, and then it'll, it'll choose whether to go to the first VM in the pool or the second one. But if we want, administrator to be able to remote desktop, RDP into one of the VMs, you're gonna have to create an inbound NAT rule, and so that's why we're creating, just say port 4000, and it'll be target port 3389. So then we could RDP into the first VM in the load balancer. So we're going to create one for that one, and then we're going to create the same exact thing, but we'll say demo VM2, and port 4001, and then same target ports and everything. So I'll come back when this one's ready, and we can start the second one. Alright, it's ready. So create the second one, NAT2, same front end, custom again, port 4001, this is random, and we want the second VM, and we want this IP config, and we want 3389. Looks good. Alright, it's created. There they both are. So if we take that front end IP, and we do remote desktop connection, RDP, and we put that in. Okay. And we put in port 4000, connect. It's going to ask us, this information that you put. And here, so we promoted into it, and I guess I'll just show quickly. I mean, it's the same thing for the second one, so I'm not going to show, but that's the service, and you just put in the port and you put in the IP. And just one last thing to note is if you got to make sure that your virtual machines that are inside of your load balancer, that their NSG allows RDP if you want to be able to use that service. So it's not like the inbound NAT rule will override the NSG. If this was set to deny, then when you try to remote into it, even after creating the inbound NAT rule, it's not going to work. So anyway, so just to summarize, the inbound NAT rule just forwards incoming traffic sent to the front end IP address and the port combination, and then you could, you know, specify which virtual machine or instance in the backend pool it's done. So it's just port forwarding is done by the same distribution, like same thing as the load balancing rule. It's just forwarding it. So that's inbound NAT rules for a load balancer.